So we have Ego and my man Tron here. Now, when you look at Ego and Tron, oh man, these dogs, they're getting too heavy, people. They're getting too heavy. They're getting way too heavy, heavier than I like them to be. What do you think? You don't think, hey man, that dog's got the biggest head. You don't think, man, that dog's huge. Man, you don't think, man, look at that dog's rear. You don't think, man, look at that Merle. My bad, man. You think, man, that's a good dog. And it looks like that guy loves those dogs. So I've gotten the question many times, hey, what is a bloodline, Trev? Somebody said they got this kind of blood. I'm like, what does that mean? Because in the American Bully, people like the big head. They like a good height, you know, depending on what they're doing, pocket, standard, or XL. Or now they got the double XLs, them 4X larges. And you've got weight. You know, how much does he weigh? And I always like, yo, we don't sell dogs by the pound. If it is a tall dog, it's going to look goofy. And if his head's too big, he's probably going to be stupid. When we used to look and focus on bloodlines, we were focused on character. And character traits, they were transferable. Which means if I gave you a smart dog, if I gave you a dog that could gang bang, fight per se, you knew what you were getting. If I gave you a driven, determined dog, that's what you believed in. It was not how the dog looked, because the dog was going to look like, for instance, put it like this. All Rottweilers look the same. All German Shepherds look the same. All Irish Setters, wide-haired German hair pointers, they all look the same. How they're bred in terms of traits is what makes them unique. So you get them from certain lines, because those lines, be it the dog is the dog beyond a reasonable doubt, those lines by design were created to do maybe a specific task. Maybe there are better German short-haired pointers that are better at hunting quail and duck and geese than there are that, you know, then there might be some that just want to be at the crib chilling at your foot. So let's talk a little bit about some things that we're faced with when building our bloodline, things that went wrong. And I don't mean went completely wrong, but problems that I'm on the lookout for over the next 5 years. Well, here's one. Mayazar and Baloo. We have puppies from Mayazar and Baloo. None of their dads made it past 5 years old. So now, this right here becomes a landmark for us. Because as of right now, by the time he was born, his dad wasn't 5, died. Dead by 6, I believe, at the latest. And definitely dead by the time he was 5. Well, we kept some boys off these litters. I mean, even Baloo living past 5 will be interesting, because that means he surpassed his father as well. If I told you that their parents, which their parents are still alive, weren't going to live past 5 years old, would you buy a dog for me? Probably not. If I told you that the dogs, for a fact, were going to come with bad allergies, you're going to have to use Apoquil, go to the vet all the time, would you buy a dog for me? Probably not. So when I tell you we're focused on intellect, a driven dog, and a healthy dog, those things actually take time, because already, after these people, this is 15 years of work based on what these people did. I mean, they got to year 5, and the guy that they had, aka the boys, they're gone. They're dead. That's not interesting to me. And when you do go and study bloodlines, or actually dogs that come from whatever bloodlines, aka the German Rottweiler versus the American, the German Doberman Pinscher versus the American one, those dogs, the integrity of the dog has been maintained, because they literally still do a lot of the work that they're supposed to do a lot of protective stuff, a lot of training, etc., etc. But when you think of a bloodline, don't think head, height, and weight. Don't think of color. Don't think of how cool it looks. Think about who the dog is. So if you've followed our journey and you've paid attention to the things that we're doing, then you know, well, the one thing that people enjoy is who Ego is. And in some cases, who Ego is to these people. Who Tron is to these people. Who Cha-Cha, Bam Bam, Hera, and whoever else we got. Nala, Maya. These dogs have come into your home. They've warmed your soul. I know for fact that there are a grip of people who are watching who don't even own dogs. And I thank every last one of you for getting up and going out of your way to shake my hand at times, to tell me how much you enjoy me enjoying the dogs. Grown men saying, my wife's like, hey, you don't even got a dog. Why are you watching this dude? And they're like, he's just like, he's having so much fun. I love that. I enjoy that, which is good, you know. And then in this case, that's me just taking care of the dogs and have a good time. And the one thing you've never heard me say is, I no disrespect, and I know we're gonna say, but I checked a few messages. And I just saw a message, man, remember this, man? I got that heat over here. He's showing me. I'm like, I'm not gonna say you do it, don't. What I'm gonna tell you is I ain't never sold nobody I got no heat. I tell you, if you don't train the dog, you have a problem. That's the main thing. The only thing you gonna have is you have a heat, all right. Dog gonna tear your house to pieces if you come from me. If you don't train the dog, take care of the dog, properly manage the dog. But if you're getting a dog from FBK, Fit Bully Kennels, and you're worried about the bloodlines, as I told many people have called, there are no bloodlines. Those days are over because everybody's focused on these things. And again, going back to the Rottweiler, the German short-haired pointer, the Irish setter, the Carrion Terrier, the Welsh Terrier, the standard Schnauzer. It literally, the bloodline actually matters in those cases because there are some that can work and some that will not. Some that just go straight chill, who got no driver in them. I got the Jack Russell Terrier because the general was bred for work. Over 30 years, they've been competing with the Jack Russell Terriers and bulldogs. They like the bulldogs too, like take them hunting, but they believe in making sure the muzzle stays there so the dogs can breathe. So if you look back at some old bulldog photos, the face wasn't so smashed. They have those, and some of those, I'm not saying their bloodlines, but some of them things date all the way back 200 plus years before humans put their hands on that thing. And what y'all doing to these Frenchies with this big rope is just dumb. That ain't no bloodline, that's just stupidity. Yeah, I said it. So, when you say somebody hit you with I got so-and-so bloodline, that don't mean nothing to me. Because 9 out of 10 times, you ain't spent enough time developing the character of the dog. And you know how much time it takes to develop the character of a man? For one, your character is forever grown. And normally, foundationally, it gets to a place where you can manage it over a course of time. So while we're pacing ourselves, look at these two dogs. Y'all seen them worked up. Y'all seen them having a blast. But this is good character right here. They come into the room, and for the most part, they move where I move, and they chill when I chill. You get me? So if you're asking, if someone says, hey, I got this bloodline, I always say, what does that mean? What does that mean? You got big heads, dumb dogs, unhealthy pets. Is that what you're saying? Did they do any test to ensure that you were going to get a dog that makes it past 5? Any test to ensure that the dog's not going to pass on an allergy? There are 66 alone. We talked about that. Allergies just in the integumentary system, aka the skin. I get the phone calls when there's problems. Did you buy a dog from a person, especially if you're talking about the American Bully, that you could even learn from? I get the messages, and even woke up to a text today, and probably somebody from my Pettichus, I don't know how they got my number, but they sent me an x-ray and they asked their breeder, so shout out to them, because they did what I always recommend doing first. Talk to your breeder, learn from your breeder. And they wanted a second opinion. I said, yeah, I don't see any spinal cords in that x-ray, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like you have any puppies, so potentially a false pregnancy. Point is this, I get on the phone with Chris Moore, I get on the phone with Ruben. Those are my mentors, and mind you, I know a lot, so there's never like this I'm taking from them. It's always an exchange of stuff. So as I repeat, stay tuned, take care of your dogs. Don't get caught up in this bloodline thing. If you are going to build a bloodline, once you get the look you want while building in the character traits that you enjoy, then when people say, hey, what is that bloodline? One day, when I get to year 5 meaning the generation 5 of our dogs, I'll tell you what the bloodline's called. And then I'll tell you exactly what you're getting in every dog. Stay tuned, people. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment below if you have questions about things that do and don't make sense. I repeat, get you a dog encyclopedia. If you're looking at a golden retriever, you do know that there are golden retrievers that retrieve. You ever seen a fat Labrador and a healthy Labrador? Why? Because real retrievers, even Labrador retrievers, can go out and hunt, and they'll do some work for you. far as like having a good time. We'll talk soon.